we help property managers or owners save money through efficiency, make money through various fees, and then reduce their risk and deliver a better resident experience.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. I am so excited today because we are talking to someone who is an acquirer, someone who is taking a business over and pushing it in the right direction for growth and scaling. I love hearing these stories. I cannot wait to dive into this. Peter, will you tell us who you are and what are you doing?
Yeah. So my name is Peter Gudmundsson. I'm the CEO of a company called Be Home 24/7. And we are what we call a tailored operations platform. We serve two major markets, vacation and short-term rentals, and then the residential space, which is single family for rent and multifamily. And I can go into more detail in a little bit, but basically we help property managers or owners save money through efficiency, make money through various fees, and then reduce their risk and deliver a better resident experience.
Love it. I love it. So is it all based with the rental or part-time residence application?
Yeah, primarily. Yeah. So what happens is anyone who operates in real estate probably has a property management system, or PMS for short.
Right.
And typically those are accounting systems. There are big names in the residential world like Yardi and RealPage and AppFolio. In the vacation space, it's much more fragmented. There are something like 45 or 50 different property management systems. But what they have in common is that they all started as accounting systems. We're the opposite. We started in operations. One way to think about it is we're inside the four walls of the structure, not back in the office.
Interesting. So how does that give you an advantage? What do you feel like is the biggest strength of that?
Yeah, huge advantage. Well, we sort of feel like we're like at all in business success, we're in the right place at the right time. I've had it otherwise in my career sometimes, but in this case, right place at the right time, which is that automation tools, both the hardware of how to operate a home, meaning smart locks, thermostats, leak detectors, noise detectors, pool and spa temperature, remote access, things like that have all evolved greatly in the last, say, 10 years, in the last 5 years in particular. Of course. And now it's a matter, it's almost like computers. Remember in the early days, you were just excited to have a desktop computer that could read your floppy disk and you could play your game. But eventually people figured out that computers are more valuable when you network them. Well, home devices are the same way. Now you network them and you harness them to an operating platform. We call it a tailored operating platform, which brings the power of that together to operate your distance. That's why our company name, Be Home 24/7, which is a little bit of a silly name, but the idea is that it's kind of like when you're home. We started in the vacation space, and there you might be living in, say, I don't know, Salt Lake City, and you've got a vacation home in the Gulf of Mexico. It's like being home, the access that these tools give you to how your property is performing.
Love it. Very cool. Now, does that freak people out when they see that someone's controlling the residence while they're renting? I mean, I'm a big Airbnb renter. When I get in a home and I see lights turning off when I'm there, I mean, is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking more control?
It can. One thing in particular that does unnerve people is cameras. You have to be very careful with cameras, not having them on the inside. For example, we have a tool actually in the residential space called a self-guided tour. And you wouldn't believe that we've done over 1 million self-guided tours where someone will now rent, will visit, make an appointment, visit a rental property that they might want to rent for themselves or their family, and tour the space without a human realtor.
Wow.
And so sometimes for security purposes, you might want to put a camera on the inside. The problem is it unnerves people and people have a mental image. I don't want to live there. I'll be watched on a camera. On the other hand, people have with Ring doorbells and other brands, they've gotten used to the idea of outward facing cameras. That's not so much a problem. In fact, people like that.
Right. I love it. Okay. So now let's jump into this a little bit, Peter, because this is, we now know what the product does. We know what the business does. We know what it's doing. The business has been around for a while.
Yeah, exactly. We started 17 years ago.
Awesome.
And really as a hobby business. Our chief technology officer and our founder, a guy named Joseph Morris, lived in Destin, Florida. He still does. Yeah. And he had a number of friends in the vacation space or friends that had vacation rentals.
Makes sense.
Just trying to solve their problems, the company evolved. But really about 3.5, 4 years ago, he decided to quote unquote get serious because the prop tech or property technology space was booming. And he realized he had a lot of the solutions in hand. He just needed to market it. So in many ways, we laugh internally. We're different than your average Silicon Valley company. In Silicon Valley, people come up with a vision, develop the hype, and then figure out how to build it. We did the opposite. We built it first, and now we're trying to figure out how to sell it.
I love it. No, I love it. And you clearly are a well-spoken founder. I mean, I know you didn't found this company, but I can tell by the way you think and the way you speak that you have a good control of how to message this business.
Well, very much so, and that's one of my key messages to your listeners is I've been here about 2.5 years, and when I came on board because a family office made a big investment in the business, and I have a stupid joke, which is that one of their provisions was that the company hire a real CEO. They looked everywhere, couldn't find one, so here I am. That's my stupid joke, but there is some seriousness. I spent about 6 months, and to this day I still spend a lot of time every day trying to articulate first to myself and then to others, what business are we in? What do we do? And both for good and bad, it's a complex story. I often envy people who say, what do you do? I'm a dentist. Got it. You're a dentist. Good. I mean, there's a lot to that. But sometimes I feel, one of my favorite quotations is by a French philosopher, Blaise Pascal. And he said, I apologize for this long letter. I didn't have time to write a short one. And there's so much brilliance in that statement from the 17th century, which is that you have to really think, what words do I need? Who are you speaking to? What are you conveying? And because we're as complex as an iPhone on the inside, but on the outside, an iPhone is very simple. And that's the never-ending journey to be able to do that.
I love it. I'm a marketing messaging guy, and so I love it when other people can speak so well about what they're doing. And clearly, you've thought through this. You've got great technology to back it up. And now that you're messaging, tell us about the growth journey. I mean, you've been involved for 2.5 plus
about
years.
2.5 years. Came on board, and the big thing when you come to the realm, whether you're promoted up through an organization or whether you're hired from the outside or you buy. A lot of my career, I have done acquisitions, whereas I come in as the new owner, usually with an investment group. And the first thing you do is listen. Ask questions and understand everything. Meet with everybody, literally everyone in the company for hours, and pick their brain and learn what they learn. And people have the answers; they just need it to be organized. And that's management's or leadership's goal is to organize that information. And so I asked a lot of questions. Really tried to understand the business we're in. Talk to competitors. Talk to customers, potential customers, lost customers, and understand and start to articulate that vision.
Running a business, honestly, can leave a lot of founders and operators feeling lonely and isolated. If you have ever felt that way, trust me, I know what it feels like. And there is something you can do about it. You've heard a lot of our guests talk about the fact that being lonely and isolated is one of their biggest challenges in trying to run and scale their business. captainscouncil.com. Go to captainscouncil.com right now and see what we're doing to resolve this problem. We want you to be a strong operator who has solutions and has a way to get around the challenges you're currently facing. What most founders don't understand is that you're not alone. The challenges that you're facing, likely somebody else has already overcome, and they can give you the feedback you need to overcome them. Who better than your peers, other founders, other operators who are joining with you in a small group setting, a global community setting, as well as at our in-person events to guide you through these challenges that you're facing right now. Don't give up, keep on pushing, but do it with some good advice from your peers. Go check it out at captainscouncil.com and let me know what you think about the offering. We can't wait to see you there. I love it. Now, you did that coming into the business. How often should a business do that? I mean, it's a big exercise. But what do you recommend when people, oftentimes they get stuck in their growth journey? They just can't quite get it to the point where they thought they could get it, much like the company that you've entered. They get it to that stage. How often should that exercise be done in your opinion?
I think regularly. I mean, like
Yeah.
at least monthly in an organized way, quarterly and annually in a very detailed way, like an
Right.
offsite meeting where it's all you talk about. And then really on a daily basis, it's like, because it's an overused analogy, but a CEO is a coach.
Yeah.
And it's a football coach. How many football coaches have saying, we use the expression, let's get back to blocking and tackling.
Right.
And really, it sounds a little bit patronizing, but hey, our goal is to get the ball over the line.
Yeah.
And remind everybody, let's go back to basics. Why are we here?
Right.
Why do our customers, what problem are we trying to solve? What do our customers need? You can never do that too much, I don't think. And it's so critical because all of a sudden, there's a nuance we're missing. There's an opportunity in a nuance that might have been missed the first 99 times you went through it.
Yeah. No, fascinating. I think it's fantastic. It's exciting. This isn't your first rodeo. Tell us about your decision to come into this situation. What made it the right play for you?
For me, I believe this is a little strange and a little bit different than you see in a lot of sort of self-help gurus. I believe in a career of triples. I believe in buying a business that's already established or coming to run it and grow it to a certain point and then usually exit. There's a reason why strike, I'm using a lot of sports analogies today. I don't know why, but home run hitters are also strikeout kings, usually. I'd prefer to get on base consistently. I'd rather hit 400 than occasionally have a home run. It's very un-Silicon Valley. And so in this case, I saw that the market was strong. There's the old Michael Porter's 5 forces and all that the 5 forces were very strong for what we were doing. Yeah. And so I see a great opportunity to take us, again, proverbially to a couple higher levels. Awesome. And that's why I came in here. And then I met the people, loved the people. And all of business is about strategy and execution through people.
I love it. So the avatar for you, is it the property owners? Is it the property management groups? Like, who is your ideal avatar? Who are you really trying to
help? We're very mindful of being B to B to C, which means we serve property managers and owner operators. Some people operate their owned for sure. Properties. But ultimately, we have the resident or the guest in mind. And you have to understand the whole journey. But it is essentially property managers, people who are responsible for delivering a return on the value of that asset.
Cool. Yeah, I had a podcast guest early on who was a big property management guy, and I'm going to need to make an intro here, I think. So,
please,
100%. So talk to us about the biggest challenges. I mean, what are the surprises that you hit as you did this exploration through the company, and we're trying to really see where people are at? Was there something that kind of stuck out to you that you immediately saw?
Yeah,
we got to fix it.
The biggest challenge is complexity, managing complexity.
Yeah.
Our story is very is complex. The software does a lot. In fact, when I first came on board, our own people kept telling me, I said, well, what do? We do everything. I said, we can't do everything. I mean, can we put a lunar module on the moon?
Right.
No. Well, so we don't do everything, do we?
Right.
So knowing what you do well and reinforcing that, and also the humility, as Clint Eastwood once said, a man's got to know his limitations.
Yeah.
And it's important to know what we don't do and where we rely on partners and others in the value chain. So it's managing complexity, which I know is in itself a complex notion. Right. But it comes back to the basics of what do we do? How does it work? Where are we headed? And articulating that to all the stakeholders constantly.
Love it. I love it. So is this company public? Is it like, what have been, prior to you coming in, what kind of attempts had the company made to grow and scale? Have they raised money? Is it something?
Yeah, the company had, being an engineering-led culture by our founder and our CTO, the company really led itself by what was technically interesting. which is actually some of the greatest innovations come from that, which is just our Joseph, our founder, is very much a tinkerer.
Right.
What he likes nothing better is to go to a meeting with a client. The client identifies a problem and he says, let me work on that. And literally comes back on Monday with the solution, which blows people's minds.
Love it.
For those of us who are used to business processes that are more, a roadmap,
right.
and we're going to
6
get
months
to that
out.
in the third quarter.
Yeah,
exactly. It blows people's minds in a good way, but it does present a challenge managerially to make sure we don't drop the other things that are important.
Right.
So you want to keep that inspiration while always having, the old E-myth. You want to work
100%.
on the business, not just in the business.
Right.
And so that was kind of the challenge coming in. But you want to keep all change management. And when you take over a business, it's essentially change management.
Right.
And it's the message is the same. You want to keep what works well, and you want to change which doesn't. And so that's the ongoing challenge as well.
That is an ongoing challenge. And for a lot of people listening, when you launch a business, a lot of times you end up launching with a lot of excess crap, products that you just kind of needed to get out there so you could figure out what was going to fit, what was going to work. And then once they've launched and they get kind of into the comfort zone of, hey, we're generating some revenue, this is cool. What is that process that you like to use to kind of go through and clean out the crap and focus in on the real strengths of your product?
Yeah, it's just rapid iteration. It's just it's trying things out with clients, and that's and understanding. That's one of the great things about the software space generally,
right.
is that people are pretty tolerant about testing. Whether it's an alpha, beta, or whatever step in the process
right.
it is.
Right.
Make it clear that we're trying out something new. What do you think? Getting key customers to volunteer. Would you like to try out a new little feature? See what you think, give us the feedback, and then give it to them for free for a while. Also, with the software as a service SaaS model, everyone gets the benefit from the innovations for a few,
for sure,
as the product rolls out. So rapid iteration is how I would, and then very transparent communication internally and externally.
Yeah,
you never know where the next good idea is going to come from, and it's probably not from me.
It'll probably come
to my
customers,
ears, not from my mouth.
Right. It'll probably come from your customers.
Exactly. That too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, with technology, a little bit is getting ahead of the customer. It's again, I'm using lots of cliches, but it's skating to where the puck is going to be,
right.
not where it is now.
Right. I love it. No, this has been a fantastic conversation. What else do you see? I know that you've had a lot of background and dealing with a lot of other founders, a lot of other industries, a lot of things like that. You knew coming into this there were going to be some weird oddities that you were going to have to fix. Was there anything else that kind of surprised you, or were there things that you were surprised were running as well as they were, that you see that a lot of other businesses struggle with?
Yeah, especially specifically for a technology company, things worked better than I thought.
Cool.
Like I said earlier, very often in the tech world, it's vision, and then execution is stage 2.
Right.
We started with execution. Now it's a matter of articulating the vision. It's a little bit backward.
Love it.
From a lot, which is a surprise, because I expected to be. I knew the vision wasn't entirely clear.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see how well the product works.
Right.
Because in software in particular, it's easy to get cynical about, because people tend to overpromise, underdeliver.
Yes.
And we do the opposite. And that was a surprise, a very pleasant surprise.
Awesome. I love it. Now, as you have been involved in this growth journey and others, is there someone in your network, someone that you recognize that's been an inspiration to you and kind of giving you the motivation to keep on moving with your ventures?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of inspiration, a lot of that was early in my career, early in my life. I mean, I grew up in suburban New York. I had a scoutmaster who taught me leadership. And Howard Rakoff is his name. He's still a scoutmaster, and that sort of thing. Then later on, after college, I was in the Marine Corps for a few years, and as an artillery officer, I had a number of great role models of leadership. And then at this point in life, I find that a peer network of experts, not any one person, but I know where to turn for various issues.
Right.
And sometimes just asking the question, there's clarity.
Right.
And the other person doesn't even have to say anything. Just the fact that I took the time to articulate the question will sometimes self-solve it.
Right.
And so, so I can't stress enough the importance of networking in life. I know it's hard for introverts sometimes, but there's an old saying, you get what you put into it, which makes no sense to me. You actually get less than you put into it, but it's still worthwhile doing. It's the way to live life. And by giving to others, you'll get a lot in return. Like I said, not as much. But you'll get a lot in return, and that'll be a constant source of support and inspiration.
Love it. I can't agree with you more. I've been a part of some peer networks. In fact, I just got back from a lunch with some peers locally here that we get together once a month. And it is such a fascinating group to be with. It's so amazing to feel the power of other founders who can help you and leaders that can help you with the problems you're facing today. Not hypothetical things, not things that are a maybe, but things that are really agitating your business today. You can oftentimes find solutions with great peers. So thanks for bringing that up.
I always say there are no new ideas. You can usually get ideas from something else. It's like the old commercial of the peanut butter and the chocolate coming together haphazardly. It's the same way. All of a sudden, you'll know somebody with some random business, a floral design business, and has an insight into software. Wow, hadn't thought of that.
Crazy. I love it. Well, this has been a great interview. I sincerely appreciate you being here today. Where can people catch up with you? Are you active on LinkedIn? Where's your place?
Yeah, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn personally, and then my company is behome247.com.
I love it.
Behome247.com.
I love it.
Love to help any way I can.
I've been on your site. Very clean, very clear. You clearly know what you're doing with your marketing. I love it. And so for those of you that are in the property management industry, definitely take a look at this software. Thanks so much for doing what you do.
Thanks, Todd.
What did you think of that company? I love the company. To be honest, I've got 3 or 4 referrals already for him. And the value of what he's bringing to the industry is really cool. But as you can see, the value of bringing somebody into your business who's better than you at the things that you need to have done at that moment is so smart. So smart. The founder of that company knew that they are an amazing technical manager. They love the product. They love working on the product, but maybe they don't like working on the marketing or the messaging or the sales or the other facets of the business that give them a headache. So what did this founder do? He brought in an amazing partner to come in and run the company the way that it should be run so that he could focus on the things that he was particularly strong at doing. I love stories like this. It's a happy ending. And honestly, I feel like this company has the propensity to take off and do what the founder was hoping would happen with the right person at the helm. I love the story. If you're a founder who needs help running your business, you're not alone. There are a lot of people with these needs. And sometimes the solution is to bring the right people in. Sometimes it's to be part of a community. Check out what we're building. We're gonna have some ads below with the community that we are building with some of our founders from these podcasts and other founders that we know from our community of listeners. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thanks for being part of our podcast, and thanks for being part of our community. We love you. We love what you're doing, and keep on growing. Share this podcast with those who need to hear it. And we look forward to catching you on the next episode. We'll see you then.